guys, welcome back to another video. We have a bunch of stuff to get into today, but first of all, let's start off here with some more Redfall talk. So yesterday I made a video asking, could Redfall be redeemed with patches and everything and just bring people back into the game, similar to something like Cyberpunk 2077. Now, when it comes to the game itself, it's been bashed, it's been destroyed, and I have to say, again, as I've played it more and more, there is fun to have. I've been having fun playing it. There's tons of technical issues. It's not a game that is of high quality because of these issues, and they eventually will get fixed. And with all of that, when this game got released, we saw people just getting mad at others for playing this game, saying that they shouldn't be able to have fun with this game, and thinking that playing it or having fun with it or whatever was lowering your standards, and then telling Xbox that you're okay with this type of stuff, which I think is crazy, especially because the game is out on Xbox Game Pass. So a lot of people are going to go out there and download the game. And there are many ways that people perceive games. There's many different tastes out there. I don't think people's subjective opinions of what games they like and what games they dislike should ever be really matter, right? Like, you shouldn't be telling people what games to play and what games they shouldn't play. But Redfall was one of those games because of the way that it was released. But it seems like all of the negativity surrounding this game hasn't hurt the people jumping in and actually playing it. This is from True Achievements, and it's their charts of the popular games on Xbox. And it says here, just below these two rivals, we see this week's first new entry, and it's Arcane's Redfall, a mixed but somewhat negative skewed critical response, including our own Redfall review, which called it a game confused, hasn't stopped loads of players from jumping into the game to make up their own minds, with the vampire FPS appearing on over 13% of accounts in the charts data pool in the last week. Now, with True Achievements, I believe they have about 2 million or so accounts. So 13% of those accounts on this website have actually jumped in to play Redfall. And we also saw yesterday with Xbox themselves, in terms of all Xbox games, it was like the 12th overall game. And I think overall on Game Pass, it was like the second most popular game. But there are tons of people playing this game. It is essentially doing well for the active users jumping in here, and we see it behind Fortnite and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which, I mean, makes a ton of sense. These are two just juggernaut games that are always going to have a ton of players jumping in, but it's ahead of Minecraft, it's ahead of Grand Theft Auto 5, ahead of FIFA 23, ahead of Rocket League. So it's doing extremely well, ahead of Destiny 2. The game, even with all the negativity and the bad critical reception to it in terms of players, is doing well. And the question here is, what does Xbox think about this? They look at the critical response. Obviously, Phil Spencer came out and said, this is unacceptable. We need to do better. They're going to go ahead and fix the game, all that type of stuff. So I don't think this means that Xbox is going to see this and be like, hey, we're going to continue to release broken games because people are going to be jumping in, at least based off of what Phil Spencer said. And just from a PR perspective, it wouldn't look good if they did that. But they are probably looking at this and seeing that the overall negativity that was extremely loud on social media is not translating into the actual player base and success so far of this game. And the other question I think they'll probably look at is, how long do people actually stay on this game? Because it is 30 FPS. We know that was a big thing that was negative about it when it released on console. But clearly overall, it hasn't had a massive effect on the active users. And hopefully at some point later on, we'll see if it lasts. And then if these numbers do stay, maybe it'll fall right off the charts after this week, because maybe this is just that uptick from people being excited about the new game coming out and then jumping. And I think that will be interesting next week to see where Redfall does land. Now, so I'm over to another huge first-party game, probably the biggest first-party game coming from Xbox, maybe the biggest game throughout the entire year. I would put it up there with The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which comes out on Friday. It's Starfield, right? We have some more information, and it is the leaked ESRB rating, giving us a look at some of the game's features. Now, it says here, what we need to know: Starfield's ESRB rating has inadvertently leaked on its official Twitter page ahead of an official ESRB rating. The game is reported to be rated mature 17 plus, which nobody, I think, is surprised about that, but also it's good that it is, I think, a mature rated game. And it will contain scenes of violence, blood, suggestive themes, strong language, and use of drugs. And there was a big listing here, right? Like, it gave us more information just about some of the, I guess, humor or maybe just kind of the themes that they are going for in this game. So I'll just read it out. It says that this is an open world role-playing game in which players assume the role of a miner tasked with finding artifacts across the gallery. From first, third-person perspectives, players interact with various characters, complete quests, and search for supplies while battling enemies, humans, robots, alien creatures. Players use futuristic guns, lasers, axes, and explosives to kill enemies. Combat is fast-paced with frequent gunfire, cries of pain, and explosions. Attacks on some enemies can result in blood splatter effects. Several environments depict blood stains on the ground around the corpse. The game contains some suggestive material in the dialogue. It says, and after sharing a bed with characters, example, life is a sexually transmitted disease that's 100% fatal. I'm all for getting a little wild, but next time let's try it without the jetpacks. Talk about seeing stars. Woo, that was amazing. Fictional drug Aurora is prominent in the game with a section of involving players, characters working in an illicit drug lab. Players can also obtain Aurora by stealing or buying it from vendors. Consuming Aurora results in distortion effects on the screen. The word, I'm not going to say that. Bad words are being said here. They do appear in the game. So there you have it. We're seeing a little bit of like kind of the dialogue that we should be expecting within this game. Wild dialogue. There's probably going to be tons of interesting things to listen to as you're talking to characters. And as we know with Starfield, you are the character. And you're going out there and you're building your own adventure. So it's just more information that at the end of the day, what I think it has me excited. Honestly, I can't wait for this game to come out. I know people are still up in the air. Like, will it be good? Will it be bad? Just because of the entire RedFall debacle. But I just think it's a completely different beast when it comes to Bethesda. This is the first new open world RPG from them. A very long time. It's Todd Howard's baby, and if you like any of their previous games, you don't have to have played them all, but if you just like any of them, I think this is going to be just the biggest release of the year for most people, again, with Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And it's that game that now has an immense amount of pressure on it because of RedFall, because of the negative reception from RedFall. People are literally saying if this game flops, it's the end of Xbox. Now, we could debate that. I'm not going to get into that right now. But there is a ton of pressure, but I do believe it's going to deliver. It's not going to be bug free when it releases, but I think overall as an experience with the adventure, the exploration, the combat, the dialogue, all the type of stuff, I think this is going to be potentially a generational game. As I said, they know this is their chance. This is another one of those Skyrims, right? This is another one of those games that can last for a decade, that can be that generational game that everybody talks about and continues to play and continues to buy for years and years and years to come. And they're going to do everything in their power to make sure that the ball does not get dropped. Now we'll move on here to some tweets that have been making the rounds. And it all stems from Aaron Greenberg changing his profile picture. Now, the profile picture, if we go to Aaron Greenberg, we can take a look at it. It is a scene from Hellblade. This is a Hellblade profile picture. Hellblade 2 showing with the Xbox logo, all of that type of stuff. And this has a lot of people talking because we've seen multiple things recently from Hellblade 2. It's showing up in a trailer, making it seem like that it is going to be coming out this year. And it could be that ace in the hole that Xbox does have for another big first-party release in 2023. We have a tweet here from Idle Sloth saying, FYI, Aaron Greenberg has changed his Twitter profile picture to a custom Hellblade profile picture in the theme of the Xbox showcase. But we also have Aaron Greenberg down here replying saying, it's just fan art, nothing to do with any specific game. And this is very, very curious because I tweeted out today that at this point, after everything we've seen over the last couple of weeks or days or whatever, I will be more shocked if there is not a Hellblade 2 announcement at the June showcase, or if it doesn't release this year. I'll actually be more shocked at this point based off of everything that we are seeing. But Aaron Greenberg here trying to bring back people's expectations about Hellblade 2, saying that it's just fan art and he is showing it off there. And there's a couple of things here, like why even get people's hopes up by changing your profile picture if there's no intention of Hellblade 2 launching this year, or at least a massive announcement for Hellblade 2 at the June showcase where we get the release date and we get a ton more gameplay. And why put it into that trailer where they were showing games that were releasing in 2023 if it isn't going to be coming here? Because to me, if that doesn't happen, If a game doesn't release 2023, I think that's another misstep in the marketing. I think there's a lot of people right now looking at Hellblade 2 and expecting it to release in 2023. And if it doesn't happen, I think that's going to have a negative effect. And that could obviously all been avoided if Aaron Gruber doesn't change his profile picture. They don't put it into that trailer. They don't get people's hopes up. But let's hope that it is coming, because I think that's going to be a massive announcement if it does. And it's just another big first party game that at the end of the year, if let's say hypothetically, RedFall is the only one that has an extremely negative critical reception. You have Starfield, you have Forza, you have Hellblade 2, and then you'll have Hi-Fi Rush. And all those 4 other games all get good to very good in terms of critical reception. I don't care what anybody says. This is going to be an incredible year for Xbox, even with the mishap of RedFall. And everyone is going to be forgetting about everything that happened over the last week or so with the release of RedFall. So we'll see what happens at the June showcase. As of right now, based off of what Aaron Greenberg is saying, have zero expectations for Hellblade 2. Don't expect it to be releasing, but there are just so many things pointing to it. So I think me saying don't expect it to be releasing isn't going to reduce people's hopes about Hellblade 2 coming. I'll leave it there, guys. Let me know what you think about everything we talked about here, from potentially Hellblade 2 coming out to RedFall getting a lot of players, and the Starfield information we have from the leak ESRB. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.